One of the most often told parts of a hero's story is their journey to becoming a hero. In comics, we call this their origin story. Sometimes the origin is so concise that it can be summed up in a single caption box. Or it's an epic tale that goes over several issues and culminates with the character taking on that superhero mantle. However, there are some heroes who have had little to no origin story, and that's what we're here to talk about today, because I'm Josh from WhatCulture.com, and these are 10 comic book heroes whose origins are a mystery. Number 10. Dupe. The origins of Dupe are virtually unknown and unconfirmed. Captain America claimed Dupe was a secret Cold War weapons project, and it's also believed that he had a hand in the fall of communism in the Eastern Bloc. His only confirmed occupation was when he joined X-Force as their official videographer in X-Force issue 116. But when most of that team died, the survivors regrouped in the team X-Statics. Later, Dupe's brain exploded, and his team and the Avengers fought to see who could assemble the pieces first. In the Peter Milligan and Mike Allred created X-Statics issue 25, Dupe, using his secondary brain, fought Thor for the final piece and won. However, he was killed in a hail of gunfire in the next issue, so the victory was a bit hollow. After returning from space and falling to Earth, Dupe became the receptionist at the Jean Grey School for Higher Learning. But this was problematic, because Dupe spoke only in his own strange language, and was often thought to be lazy and a thief by his colleagues. The actually vastly powerful Dupe was asked by Wolverine to deal with the problems and responsibilities that he could not at the school. Dupe later joined the mutant population on the island nation of Krakoa. Number 9. Phantom Lady. The Golden Age Phantom Lady's origin was as flimsy as her costume. Sandra Knight was merely a bored socialite who got into superheroics after an attempt on her senator father's life. She received a black light ray projector from her professor friend and a scandalously skimpy costume to distract her male opponents, and thus the Phantom Lady was born. At first she would battle crime alone, but like all heroes when World War II broke out, Knight joined the All-Star Squadron. Phantom Lady was one of a group of heroes who accompanied Uncle Sam to the alternate world of Earth X. On this Earth, the Nazis were far more successful and had a far stronger foothold than on any other world. The freedom fighters continued to fight a guerrilla war for decades against this Nazi regime before finally winning with the help of both the Justice League and the Justice Society. With Crisis on Infinite Earths, all worlds were condensed into one. The freedom fighters remained as a subsection of the All-Star Squadron, and they fought throughout the war and into the subsequent decades, with Knight eventually passing her identity on to others. It has recently been retconned that Sandra Knight was the cousin of the Golden Age Starman Ted Knight. Number 8. Wiccan. Introduced in the Alan Heinberg written Young Avengers issue 1, Billy Kaplan, the hero first known as Asgardian and later Wiccan, is the son of two doctors, Jeff and Rebecca Kaplan. Or is he? Because it's entirely possible that he is the reincarnated son of Wanda Maximoff and Vision, as Wanda later confirmed in the Avengers The Children's Crusade miniseries. So where Wiccan came by his incredible powers remains a mystery. When his powers first began to emerge, Billy nearly killed his high school bully. He went to the Avengers mansion to seek help from the Scarlet Witch, only to find it destroyed and the team disbanded. As luck would have it, Billy was listed on the Avengers failsafe program that the Vision had created in the event of the destruction of Earth's mightiest heroes. Iron Lad used the program to gather a team to stop the return of Kang the Conqueror, his future self. The team succeeded and banded together as the Young Avengers. This team eventually rescued Wiccan's twin, Tommy, a speedster named Speed. The pair searched for and eventually found Wanda, and she confirmed their lineage, but didn't explain how their powers came to them. Wiccan's powers grew exponentially, and even began to overload at one point. Regaining control, Billy married his boyfriend Hulkling, who currently rules over the Kree-Skrull Alliance. Number 7. Rip Hunter. When he premiered in Showcase issue 20, Rip Hunter jumped into his time machine with his friend Jeff Smith, his girlfriend Bonnie Baxter, and her kid brother Corky, and had adventures like the early days Fantastic Four. There was never any explanation of where Hunter came from, or how he created his time bubble. After Hunter and his team fell into relative obscurity with the rise of costume superheroes, Rip was recruited into a group called the Forgotten Heroes by the Immortal Man. During the end of Crisis on Infinite Earths, the Time Master aided the strongest heroes of the 5 remaining Earths to travel to the dawn of time to battle the Anti-Monitor. After the crisis, Rip found himself a man out of time, with a doppelganger now running his team of Time Masters. The pre-crisis Hunter joined the Linear Men to help preserve the timeline, but he was just biding his time. In the Kingdom miniseries, Rip Hunter sided with the superheroes to defeat the time-traveling villain named Gog. Their battle broke the hypertime barrier and opened the possibility to all timelines. However, Hunter and all the Linear men were destroyed during the Imperiex invasion. Rip's actions had the far-reaching consequences of allowing Superboy Prime to escape from his heaven dimension and wreak havoc. Number 6. Sage. The woman known as Sage is virtually unknown to everyone, in part because Charles Xavier planned it that way. She was born in a war-torn area of the Balkans and learned to fight and gather equipment whenever she needed it. She encountered Charles in the Hindu Kurdish mountains when his legs had been crushed. After single-handedly fighting a group of bandits who had attacked an aid convoy, Sage got them both to safety. Sage accompanied Xavier to America, where he set her up as a spy in the Hellfire Club. She is the personal assistant of the villainous Sebastian Shaw, using the name given to her by Shaw, Tessa. One of Sage's regrets is that she was unable to save Jean Grey from Mastermind, when he brought her into the Inner Circle as the Black Queen in X-Men issue 132. After Shaw's death and the fall of the Hellfire Club, she joined the X-Men in pursuit of Destiny's Diaries. A powerful telepath, Sage's true power is that her mind is akin to a supercomputer. She has the ability to perform multiple tasks at once, able to partition sections of her brain for each task. She also has the ability to jumpstart the latent mutant powers of other mutants. Number 5. Hoodie Justice. Hoodie Justice was a mysterious member of the Golden Age team, the Minutemen, in Alan Moore's Watchmen universe. Virtually nothing is known about the identity of the hero, save that he is of German-American descent and that he made his first public appearance in the fall of 1938, when he stopped a street gang from assaulting a young couple. Later named Hoodie Justice, he would controversially beat his opponents nearly to death. Unknown to all but a few of his teammates, Hoodie Justice was a homosexual man. Even his partner, Captain Metropolis, didn't know his true identity. To hide his sexuality, Justice pretended to be in a relationship with Silk Spectre, with her consent. When he discovered the comedian raping the Silk Spectre, he savagely beat his teammate and had him thrown off the team. In 1955, the comedian continued the Silhouette's investigation of recent child murders, and discovered a man named Rolf Mueller, who was a former Nazi henchman. Blake framed Hoodie Justice and claimed he was Mueller, despite the Nazi being much older. He pushed his teammate Night Owl to apprehend Justice, and the Owl ended up killing him. Captain Metropolis burned his former lover in the old Minutemen HQ to protect his identity. Number 4. The Tick. A square-jawed, dim-witted, and possibly clinically insane hero in blue with super strength and nigh invulnerability is all readers really know about the Ben Edlund-created superhero called The Tick. Created as the mascot of the New England Comics comic store newsletter in 1986, Edlund began creating short stories with his hero until the store financed a black and white comic in June 1988. The Tick defends the generically named The City. He got his white costume sidekick, Arthur, in 1989's Tick issue 4. Dressed in a moth outfit, the pudgy accountant was often mistaken for a bunny because of the long ears on his costume, and because his wings were often folded down. Arthur tried to be the voice of restraint to the over-exuberant and dangerously childlike Tick. The Tick's adventures were a parody, and a fun examination of standard superheroes. The Tick's battle cry was the nonsensical "Spoon!", while Arthur's is "Not in the face!". One hero the Tick encounters is the Caped Wonder, who has the alter ego of reporter Clark Oppenheimer. The character has all the powers of Superman and looks down on the Tick as a lesser hero. Other heroes include Fishboy, Mighty Agrippa, Paul the Samurai, the Sultan, and the civic-minded Five. Number 3. Danny the Street. Created by writer Grant Morrison and artist Richard Case, Danny the Street is a genderqueer sentient street that has the ability to travel and place themselves anywhere around the world. Danny shuffles the local architecture and places themselves down adjacent to an alley or out-of-the-way area. Danny allows people whose society has discarded to live on them, and communicates through the store and street signs, smoke from manholes, and newspapers and magazines. Introduced in Morrison and Case's Doom Patrol issue 35, Danny the Street was targeted by the Men from Nowhere for being too abnormal. They were saved by the Doom Patrol, and the team moved Danny and even used them as a headquarters for a time. No other explanation for this unique stretch of road has ever been given. Danny the Street was kidnapped by Mr. Nobody and the Brotherhood of Dada, but as they only wanted a ride somewhere, the helpful street was happy to oblige. Danny was severely damaged when Dorothy Spinner unleashed the Candlemaker and was reduced to Danny the Brick, but they eventually got better and at one point even grew into an entire world. Number 2. Flash Gordon. With the success of the Buck Rogers comic strip, King Features Syndicate tapped writer Alex Raymond to create something in that style. In 1934, Raymond created Flash Gordon, whose daily strip ran from 1934 to 1992, with the Sunday strip running until 2003. Reprints continue to run to this day. The series spanned comics, colouring books, cartoons, radio shows, and a 1980 feature film starring Sam J. Jones and featuring the music of Queen. You know the one. The original origin saw Flash as a Yale University graduate and polo player. Earth was on a collision course with the planet Mongo, and nearly mad scientist Hans Zarkov created a rocket to stop it. He kidnapped Flash and Dale Arden, and they travelled to Mongo to fight the evil Ming the Merciless. It's never explained how polo made Flash a good fighter, how it taught him to fly spaceships or fire ray guns. He was just especially adept at these things, I guess. Later stories and the 1980s movie updated Flash as a football quarterback, and Dale was made a plucky reporter in the vein of Lois Lane, instead of the stereotypical damsel in distress. Nearly every modern comic company has created a Flash Gordon series at one time. In 1988, writer Dan Jurgens penned a 9-issue miniseries that saw Flash as a washed-up basketball player who became a hero on Mongo. Number 1. Phantom Stranger. When the Phantom Stranger was created in 1952 in his own self-titled comic by now legendary creators John Broome and Carmine Infantino, he was a mysterious figure who appeared to debunk supernatural occurrences in the lives of ordinary people. The Stranger went on to more directly battle the demon sorceress Tala, the evil immortal Tanarak, and the Dark Circle cult. Over time, the Phantom Stranger became a being of near-endless power. He was a member of the Quintessence, a group of gods and cosmic beings. In fact, he was an acquaintance or member of every major super team, especially those dealing with magic. He stood with Earth against Darkseid in the classic Legends miniseries, and was turned into a mouse by the Spectre to keep him out of the way in the first issue of Shadow Pact. While there is no official origin for the Phantom Stranger, there have been several possible ones. One was that he was an angel who refused to pick sides in Lucifer's rebellion against heaven. There are also those who believe that he was the famous Wandering Jew. The New 52 tried to make the Stranger Judas Iscariot, the betrayer of Jesus, and his necklace was the 30 pieces of silver that he was paid. But no origin except one has ever stuck. He is now and forever simply a stranger. So there we have it, folks. 10 comic book heroes whose origins are a mystery. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you did. You can follow me on Twitter @PanelsToPixels, subscribe to What Culture Comics, and we'll see you next time.